Disclaimer: Chronically Illing Out is a podcast and weekly roundtable discussion that provides a safe space for real chronic illness and mental health conversations by people with lived experience. We are not trained professionals and we do not claim to be. Rather, we discuss our stories and current events to build community and solidarity. Know that you are not alone, and if you are in crisis, call or text 988. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
As we start, hopefully coming on in, I'm hoping Substack is live. I'm checking right now. It looks like we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome as you all start coming on in. It's Monday morning. I'm Nick Paro, not your dad, here on Sick of the Shit Publications for a good morning of Chronically Illing Out. As you can all hear, I'm a little under the weather myself. So cold's been going around, but good morning, everyone. Soso, Doc Steph, how are you both today?
Hi.
Hanging in there, just we spent all of last week in Maine. So I don't know. It was good to sort of be where we're going to move, but also kind of bittersweet because we're not going to be where we are for a long time. So, yeah. So, otherwise, pretty usual. I just took a migraine pill before we got on, so I'm ready to go. So how's it going?
I'm not going. I'm staying here. I'm doing well. It was my birthday, as you know, last week. So I had a big, surprise and not surprise. I just didn't know it was going to come party over the weekend. So I would say that it went super well. And we had almost 30 people. So it was pretty exhausting. And today is my mother's birthday too. So we're going to go out tonight to the restaurant. So I would say that I've been pacing, going between moments of very high, good humor, and then crashing because I'm very tired. So, and plus I hurt my back a little. So I'm kind of trying to hang in there, but in a good mood, guys. So happy to see you and everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Happy to see you too, and happy to be here with everyone. And as you all notice, we're missing Beth, which is okay. She's out sick. She's chronically ill today, which is, kind of the theme of our show. And it's okay that we miss. And I wish Beth feeling better. And my by the way, happy Mother's Day. I know I wished you both happy Mother's Day yesterday, but to everyone in the audience too who's a mom out there, happy Mother's Day. Thank you for being a good mom and a mom in general, and bringing whoever you brought into this world life. You did a lot more than I did when I helped with my wife. As we like to say, it's like 90%, maybe 99% the wife, 1% men. We provide very little in the process up until baby is born, like the actual physical process. So go thank a mom out there, because that's the reason you're here. Go thank your mom out there. My mom was with me for the first time in, I think, almost a decade it was. It's been a very long time since I've been with my mom for Mother's Day. And so my parents were here this weekend, and it was really good to get to hang out with them. And then my brother and I have this habit of surprising my parents now. And we surprised them by my brother joining us for Thanksgiving or for Mother's Day without them actually knowing that he was coming. And that was a lot of fun.
That sounds great. I just want to acknowledge for everyone who has a complicated relationship with their mother, that this day can be hard.
Mhm.
And also
And
for
also,
those,
if you lost your mom too,
or if
that's
you've
really
lost your
hard.
mom,
Yeah.
and or if you're just, not in a great space. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Also, if you've trained your kid that like you don't take holidays very seriously, and therefore don't get a card or a gift, I feel your pain. And right after this, we're going to go out to Mother's Day lunch because it didn't happen yesterday.
We went out to Mother's Day brunch. That's what we did. And yes, totally acknowledge if you have a complicated relationship with your mom, or your mom has a complicated relationship with you. I get it. I get it. For my family, it's a very easy holiday. We don't have complicated relationship with our parents, any of us brothers, um, which is really nice. It's taken a long time for us to get to the point where we don't really have complicated relation. Too many. Um, and so that's really nice. But we still missed one of my brothers. We'll get him down here eventually, and get all of us together. So that'll be an eventuality for us. Um, but yeah, sorry y'all. I'm tired. It's been a weekend having extra people and pets in your house and then getting sick.
And chronically ill on top of that, Nick.
Yeah, and my leg has been so messed up this past week because last week it got cold here. Like we went from being 80 to going back into the 50s and just like getting cold at night, and so everything got all messed up, which really sucks. So it's been I'm under the weather, but I'm here today. I've got a busy day today too. Um, but how was for everyone in the chat who's here with us and maybe wants to share, how was your Mother's Day? And I hope everyone had a good, relaxing Mother's Day, especially the moms, where you didn't have to do anything. There's got to be at least one day where you don't have to do shit and try and solve problems, or do things. And so, yeah, I tried not to have my wife do anything on Mother's Day, or my mom. There was very little that happened for them, other than hanging out. And we went on a walk. That was fun too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Court, that's great. That's what I said I wanted, when I was like talking to my husband. I'm like, make sure that the kid writes me a note. He's now needing to like figure these things out for himself. And if you don't know what to get me, I want a Mene and Petty. So, so I got at least one of those.
Good.
Yeah, but
And so happy birthday to your mom,
yeah,
and
to
happy
you.
Mother's Day to your mom, and happy birthday to you from last week.
Thank you. And believe it or not, but next week is my grandmother's birthday, who is turning 93. And she
Oh,
is here.
wow.
She was here this weekend for my birthday. So she is also coming tonight for the supper for my mom. So after this, I have to go into town, get them gifts because I didn't have time. And yeah, so I'm pretty lucky. We were all born in May. So yeah.
Wow. And you're lucky that your grandma is still
That
alive and near you.
she's not near. She's in Matan, which is about 5 hours drive. But can you believe it? She hops on.
drove?
No, she hops onto the car. My mom went to get her. My mom's turning 70. She's turned 74, and my grandmother turned 93. Is turning 93. Sorry, and she had 10 kids, so it was a big families, Catholic church, like the whole yeah. So
Wow.
and anyways, I don't mean to be a bummer, but in May of 2006, I had my first daughter. She was also born May 17, and then she passed away May 29th because she had issues. So it was quite something because we had the 4 generations back then too, but we were all born in May, so it felt special. And now my second daughter is a January baby, so that's okay.
I'm
So
so
yeah.
sorry, Soso. I didn't know that.
Yeah, May is, I mean, I've got lots of losses in both March, April, May. It's always like like this, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
you know
don't
what, guys? I I mention it not to bring up sadness, but because for me it's important to acknowledge their passage in my life, be it short or be it long. And yeah, so um, I have to say that when I didn't have my first, I lost my daughter, and then I didn't have my second daughter. Mother's Day was insane. Like it was really bad. So yeah, I really hear you, all of you guys who are in the chat. But like I said, I don't mean to be a bonner, but it's part of life, and I'm just really grateful that we're here this morning because I am breathing, able to enjoy, the good things, and even though sometimes it hurts like shit because of when you have chronic chronic illnesses, as you know, guys. But I mean, this is why I have CPTSD. I think I just lost too many people, and then also, hard relationships. And that's why it often leads up to fibro if you have lots of traumas. So, yeah, there we go. All right, that's my rant.
No, that I mean, we have to process the good with the bad. We can't just ignore some of it, and so we have to be able to balance that for ourselves,
right. You
and
can't
the events going on.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Andrea. Yeah, like in the bad times you have to, we've talked about this, you have to celebrate the good as well.
Yeah.
And in the good times you remember the harder ones. And I think Mother's Day in particular is one that's super mixed for a lot of people. And yeah, I totally get that. I think there's a lot of, particularly women my age, women of a certain age who have, like Gen X women who have uh, complicated relationships with their mothers because of just the times that, I mean, the like point in history when we were born. And what our mothers, I mean, it was such a moment of dramatic social change that I think it kind of fucked some of us up quite considerably. But yeah, so let's talk about maybe not sad stuff right now. Oh, okay.
Wait till
So
you
I'll
see
start.
me on Father's Day. I mean, I'm going to focus on Nick celebrating Father's Day because, as you know, I've lost my dad, and Father's Day is always insane again. So, but that's, yeah. You try to think of the good moments. Yeah. But okay, so what do you want to talk about? Like you mean
I don't.
pain or like
I don't know. I was
headaches or
thinking the ocean.
sunburned?
Yes, you can get sunburned in the cloudy sky, or even just the first time you've been outside since the winter. When we went out to Maine, we walked along. There's this, it's called the Eastern Promenade, and it's like the eastern edge of the peninsula in Portland, Maine. And there's this big grassy area, and in the back is ocean. And it's one of the most beautiful spots. And we just sort of walked around, and they have food trucks at the bottom, blah, 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 blah. And then we get back to the hotel, and my son's face is like red. And he's like, oh no. And so then he had to use my my moisturizer that has sunscreen in it, so he wasn't like a tomato the whole time. So I don't know, there's something, it was really good to So maybe transitions. I'm in this massive transition
You are.
where,
You
yeah,
and Beth.
right. So we're going to sell our house in Massachusetts. We're going to move up to Maine. My kid is graduating high school, starting college, doing his first year of being a counselor at the camp he's gone to for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was kind of a junior
That's-
counselor last year. He loved it. So, but that means that we have to get him ready. And then we don't know where we'll be when he gets done. So, so it's kind of a jumble right now, and sort of just making our way through a little bit at a time, because when you really start to think about it, even if you're not neurodivergent, which I think we all are, it's a lot to process and do. And also when you feel like shit half the time, to like actually put you've had to both had to do this recently, putting your house together to get it ready for other people to see. It's
absolutely like trying to do all the and also, when you get ready to sell a house, of course you meet with the real estate agent and they're like, okay, well, you should do this and this and this to make sure that like the little things that they'll notice get taken care of. Well, they give you a
we lost her.
oh phew. It's no.
You're back.
Wait, are we losing Soso?
No, she's back.
She's back. Okay.
It's my crappy internet again. So yeah, so you've got to do all of that. Then you got to get your house ready for all the pictures. And then the visits. And here, I don't know about you guys, but here in Quebec, it's insane. Like, and I have 3 cats, so I had to get one weekend. We had an open day. I had to get 3 cats out of the house. Then I had I don't know how many visits I had, but it was insane. And we were very lucky. But we sold the house in I would say about 8 or 9, no, maybe 10 days. When we had a counter offer. So the market here is really, really big. So I don't know about you, Stephanie. Do you have any?
I live in a pretty, I mean, the real estate person basically said, don't do all of those things. Take your money with you, because houses are in such demand in my town at the low end, which is where we are. But then I started thinking about what's going to, the world in 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, we're talking about putting it up in the middle of June. So will the world has, I'm not going to go there, but yeah. So getting it cleaned, getting half of the furniture out, getting,
But
we have,
Stephanie, it depends though. I know that's what he suggested, but in our case, we did it because it was worth it, because then there was a counter offer and we actually got higher. So it really depends, I guess, the work you want to put into it and what your priorities are. Yeah, I'm saying anyway. So it was a choice, but yeah, it was tough. I had a person, and I'm I'm lucky that I'm at home. Kind of, well, I'm saying lucky and unlucky because we're not able to fully work, but so I was able to have the person come in and supervise, but they were doing the work, but they always have questions. And anyways, yeah, so I hear you. And Nick, aren't you supposed to move at 1.2?
Yeah, we
lose
Nope.
you.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. You stopped talking.
Oh, that's why I hit the volume button somehow on the Substack Live, so it sounded like you were talking again, Steph.
Oh,
because it's got that delay, and I was like, oh, what the hell is going on? Okay. Sorry, what were we just talking about?
Nick?
Moving.
Sorry. Yeah, we're going to be moving. One of the things my parents accomplished while they were here was they started their process in a lot of ways. And that's going to help kick off our process, because we're going to do some things concurrently, like getting our water line put out. It's smarter and easier for us to do it at once, and getting power lines put most of the way out. It's smarter and easier to get them done at once. And
So you're going to have a family compound, right?
No, we're at two. I mean, sure, because it's a fenced in giant ass square that our family lives on. But it will be two distinct homes.
Oh yeah. I meant just like homes, like the rich people's compounds. I have multiple homes, but like everybody is like.
I wouldn't go far as rich people compounds. Like I don't have dungeons and I don't traffic children. I also don't have billions of dollars that I just hoard in wealth, and I probably don't have my own data servers sitting on my property that are
or your own island
or my own island. I don't actually have an assistant either. So like I have volunteers who help, but I don't have like a real assistant or anything like that. Like I'm underdoing it for one of those billionaire compounds. We also probably won't have like mounted turrets or anything on our house because I feel like billionaires have that shit.
What is that?
If you've ever been to Washington, gun turrets where like
snipers are
machine gun nests and things like that would you see in World War II and stuff like that. If you ever go to Washington State, I say this, there is a compound for the Ramtha cult that has machine gun towers built onto the compound. They don't have machine guns in them that anybody can see. I'm not accusing them of doing anything. Do not come after me, lizard people. Like, so the Ramtha cult is a cult that believes that that the lizard people live subterranean on Earth, and that
like V, like in the old series in the 80s, like V for
like the
aliens
lizard.
there.
Yeah, like lizard people live under the Earth, and that when Mount Rainier next explodes, the lizard people will come out, and they have to follow Ramtha, or else they will get consumed in the fires and the culling of Earth as the lizard people take over. They're fucking weird. And like I'm saying this, and there's weird cults in the US. This one started from a German person and then came to the US and found footing. It's just so fucking crazy. But anyways, we got onto a tangent. No, my family will not have things like that.
Okay.
But similar to like what billionaires and a lot of people are doing, even most people, or not most people, a lot of people who enjoy tech are doing is I want to put together like a Wi-Fi network and a secure network for myself that covers my entire property so that I never have to be on direct cell. I can always be behind a VPN. I can have a guest network that is behind VPNs. There are friends that I have heard of and know of and think that it's really cool idea. I don't know anyone specifically. I will not say that I do. Is that people like to put out networks that extend from their property, and they can become community resources. They're
that's cool.
Alternative systems. They are part of the daisy chain. Is providing secure network access. So if the government's not going to do it, we should do it. And so if somebody can do that, like putting out a mesh network that is safe and secure that others can get into and access when they're in the area, why not? Why not provide a secure internet zone for people?
Yeah.
So example of a parallel system, it works really well if you're in, say, an HOA and you can talk with other folks in your HOA. And I know this is nothing about chronic illness. This is just a nerd.
What's an HOA?
Housing Homeowners Association.
Okay.
It's a grift is what it is. It's a way for your homeowners association is a way for a group to collect money and not do anything with it other than claim that they're mowing your lawns and keeping up your fences and then putting up more security cameras, even though your HOA decided they didn't really want those extra security cameras, but you do it anyways because you're an asshole and you run the HOA and nobody ever votes you off because nobody ever wants to run and be part of the HOA. Yeah, I'm talking about you old HOA in Washington State where the assholes did that and they put security cameras on everything, even though we told them we don't want security cameras on everything. And if you're too concerned that the gate keeps getting broken because it's not letting people in, maybe you should fix the fucking gate and not add security cameras. Thanks. That would have been a lot cheaper. Yeah. HOAs are a big market for flock safety and the surveillance state. And that's a danger in itself.
Yeah. We almost put two different offers on two different condos that were like, like a duplex kind of smushed together. Yeah, everyone hates their HOA. But they like fix the roof and all that shit because it's a condo. But I think my husband said something, and we're going to get a Ring camera. I was like, oh no, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to talk about this. So you guys can tell me what happened. So I have disabled as much of Siri as I can on my phone and still be able to use it with my car. In one of the units, there was this wall jewelry cabinet that had a lock, and it was a mirror, and you opened it up and you could like put all your jewelry in it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I didn't look it up. I did nothing with it on the internet. I didn't talk about it except in person. And it showed up on my like things I might be interested in. And talk about a surveillance state.
That's insane.
And my phone wasn't even with me. My phone was like downstairs.
Okay. This is why I'm glad we're having this conversation across the border, because I think that only when people see how things can be different elsewhere and hopefully, try to, I don't want to say like, I don't want to say make it better, but, we do have in big cities, like for sure there'll be like cameras everywhere. But I mean, and now I'm not in the city. I mean, when I was in the city, I didn't even have cameras. But now I do. But you know why I put up cameras, surveying on camera? Because I'm living almost like in the woods, as you guys know. It's because I wanted to see wild animals. And you can ask Courtney, because she always she often sends us videos of bears and foxes and all of that. And I love it. And then so I said, okay, now that we're living in the forest, we have to have a surveillance camera. So we have like two. And then, of course, we had to move close to Christmas. So now there was nothing. And then it's spring again. And what am I getting? The neighbor's pets. Like, I had to write to the neighbors, like, whose cat is this? I'm like, oh my God, the camera caught something. And it's like, okay, it's the fat cat that I don't know who owns it yet because I haven't met all my neighbors. Anyways, so yeah. I need to get a hunting cam. Good, yeah, but not one where I hunt. I don't hunt, but yes, it would be a good and put it in the woods right in front or something.
Yeah, the hunting cams are cool. My dad has some of those, and I definitely want to get those because they're more closed circuit. Like, it's okay to have your own security. It's okay if you have security cameras. I'm not knocking having security cameras and safety. Like, I'm also not knocking the idea of having tech in your house because the accessibility functionality that tech provides and that is built into some of the services on purpose is the intention for some of it is actually the accessibility functionality. And that's for, obviously, we all have chronic illnesses. For people who are disabled and have chronic illness, that's really important, is the functionality and the ability to move more freely in their own home or in our own home or our world, and understanding those types of risks and how we can mitigate them. Because for the most part, we can't change the fact that tech is here. I worked in a tech company. I've worked in multiple tech companies. I worked at Amazon for fuck's sake, years and years and years ago now, but I worked at Amazon where I built part of the Alexa healthcare system. They eventually took it out, but the reason Amazon technology is HIPAA compliant is because of my team. Like, we forced Amazon to become HIPAA compliant and GDPR compliant across the board for almost all their AWS services
Oh,
because
really?
we needed that functionality. We as that team needed the functionality because the skills we were using was collecting PII. And we had to ensure that we were compliant with HIPAA data processing laws, which are still there. There are some compliance laws in the US, very, 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 very few on data. Like, that's really the problem, is we have to force companies to be better. And to do that is to regulate them. And to regulate them is a good thing, especially when it comes to data security and data privacy. And a lot of that is tied to the disability community and whether we have the voice to say, no, you don't get to sell all our fucking data just because you don't think it's PII or HIPAA. It is. And we don't give consent to release our health data. And that's really where we can change and force, is coming together as a single community. Like Naida Green talks about, is the disability communities are pretty disparate communities in a lot of ways. Like the veteran disability community is different from the civilian disability community. Within the veteran disability community, if you're not a combat veteran, there's a different stigma compared to if you are a combat veteran. There's a very different
What
view
is it?
on disabilities. True. I mean, from the traditional viewpoint, is a lot of people see it as, you went to combat, you earned those disabilities. If you didn't go to combat, you didn't earn those disabilities.
As if it's all merit, right?
Yes, because the military, in many ways, is usually or historically has been a good judgment of merit base in a lot of areas. And it does weed out a lot of non-meritorious people who don't deserve it. It does promote people who suck, and there are easy ways to get around that. But for many people in service, it is very meritorious. It is a very merit-based system, and that's how you gain your rank, and that's how you move up in the world. And we have to take that out of how we view ourselves on a disability community level, so that we don't judge each other harshly across. Like,
Absolutely.
I am the same as you guys. Neither of you served.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Neuro just said. An earning
Yes,
disability
Chris, they do
is
anymore.
a problematic term for me, and that's basically what you're saying. It's not as if you've got to earn your disability, I mean, I could just say, well, come live in the childhood that I've had when I was a kid, and I had to, somebody was threatening to kill someone, and then it was as if I was in Afghanistan every day. I just didn't know when the next bomb was going to explode in my house. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, how do you judge those things? Some things seem obvious because you've been in a war. And what if you are at home, but you're in a war between two people, and then, you'll have accidents. You could be driving your car, for fuck's sakes. I mean, my cousin was on his bike, 17-year-old, got hit by a car who didn't do a stop and ended up quadriplegic. I mean,
no, and
it's like,
and I don't believe it. I don't believe that people didn't earn their disabilities. I had a friend who developed cancer during our training, and was medically discharged. Did that individual earn their disability? They fucking develop cancer while they're on service. That's part of the contract, is while you're on service, if you get disabled, the government has to care for it because you were under contract, and it's their fucking problem.
But
and so that's but for the veteran side, it's really hard because this also carries over from a lot of other pieces of being part of a service member, and the competition that goes into units and even company competition between those who have combat patches and those who don't.
Yeah.
There's a very long history of like, until you're not like, you haven't earned anything until you have your combat patch. Even people who have combat patches get compete over how many combat patches they have, which units they've gone to combat with. And yeah, it's a very toxic system. It also kind of has to be for the military, because the military has to have some toxicity to train away a bit of your humanity, so you're willing to kill people, because that's part of your job, is you have to be willing to pull that trigger when it is required. And you have to be willing to do it over and over and over again. I am lucky I never had to do that. I know people who have, and what it has done to them, and how it has changed them, and the damage it has done to them. And they came back very different, because they also took therapy and actually have lived through therapy, years and years and years and years and years of therapy, and have come a long way. And the work that they have done is very impressive. I won't out who this person is in any way, but they're really impressive in my eyes for the work that they have done, because they have pulled the trigger multiple times and come back. But on the disability side, it's still just weird, because that competition doesn't go away even when you come back.
Understand.
And getting that competitive idea of which disabilities are inherently, like, which ones are more glamorous in a lot of ways, or which ones are more like appropriate to call a real disability. Like, we have to get those out of our own ideas, our own ableism, out of our own communities against each other. And that's part of it, is bridging our gaps on the disability side. Is we cannot be disparate communities. We have to be one voice that says, no, you can't touch our fucking data. Going back to the data thing. No, you can't touch our data. No, you can't do this. Because the history of rights increasing in the US really is intrinsically tied to the increasing of rights for disabled people.
And that, but then things like the wall between Social Security and the rest of the government being taken down, and everybody having access to all the data, kind of fucks all of that up. I don't want to get too far into politics, but I think it's a different world now.
It has changed so much. I mean, it's like, just on that note, I just can't wait for the day where we don't see Donald fucking Trump's name everywhere, all over the news. I mean, it's enough. It's like, when are people going to wake up? Like, just send him to a senile home or something. I mean, just over the weekend. I mean, okay. I know I would stop, but like, yeah, happy Mother's Day. Like, what the hell? I mean, and that gets me going too. So yeah, let's not. But and no wonder if he puts people that are like, yes, sir, yes, sir. I mean, we see what's happening to our neighbors, to you guys, and it's enraging. And it's like, people need to have education. And you know what, just to go back on what you were saying about the military, Nick, I mean, there's also a part of education within the military. And by the way, that scares me, because I don't know if you've seen, but we are building our military now in Canada. And this year is going to be like the highest, like, hiring spree that's happening. And I live near a military base. Like, in the morning and at night, I hear the guns fire, like the practice now when I've moved. And for me, I do have friends also who have been in the military, who have gone to Afghanistan, have PTSD now, can't work. I mean, and I'm like, and yeah, it makes my blood boil, because I'm like, we have been on this earth for more than 2,000 years, and we're no better than the stupid Neanderthals who just like, like, oh, let's start a fire and then go and kill our, the next clan, and, try to take their territory. And so, yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, we're still doing the same thing. right? We're still
So
cave.
learn
We're still
people.
beating on rocks and hitting each other over the head,
Mhm.
and we're just doing it with more advanced technology, but we're doing the same bullshit
And
over
it
and
makes
over
it
again.
easier too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
so easy to just. I mean,
But
that's
like
why there's. Yeah. Anyways, sorry. Go there.
getting into like the utility wise for like technology though, and on that side for the like accessibility and the utility of it, is it's also a really good equalizing field. Is again, I'm not I can't tell people to take technology out of their life. I don't want to take technology out of my life. I like conveniences. I like not having to do hard tasks every time I need to. I like not having to go into a computer terminal to boot up my fucking hard drive on my computer like we used to do in the early 90s when we had MS-DOC and shit like that. I don't want to have to go, or MS-DOS. I don't want to have to go back to those things. I don't want to have to go to older programming language. I want us to advance. I want us to move forward, but it's all about like, we just have to have data security because people's data belongs to them
Right.
and not to these idiots who think that they can just buy all our data and then do whatever they want with it.
You sweet summer child, Nick. Oh, the days when you had to boot up your internet.
My internet used to scream at me when I was on it, and then when I was trying to torrent something, my parents would always like pick up the phone, and so I couldn't download this video that I wanted or this piece of music that I wanted to get, and we had to start it all over again and listen to the internet.
Plug into the wall.
Yeah. Whatever.
What are you
Chatting on AOL with a CD, getting
Okay.
hours of AOL chat time and with a CD and
Yes.
typing to our friends and getting the little flip phones with my
Good
big
time.
ass fingers trying to type on these tiny little keyboards and not mess shit up. And then getting on the internet for the first time on a phone and my parents going, "Why are we so expensive right now?"
Yes. And some of us didn't have
1992,
the
yeah.
internet until after in college. We had to go to a VAX machine if we wanted to access our email in a computer lab, because they didn't have email or connectivity in the dorms. So, you know,
Okay.
it's a continuum.
It is. It is. So building on that, because that does bring a story to mind, um, is my mom my mom and I both went to the same school, almost 30 years apart. And no, they did not care that my mom went to that fucking school. I had to earn my ass and my way in. And I also went to a very different department than her. She was a psychologist. I went for music. So very different schools, both had to earn our ways in. That's not important to the story. Just to put that out there. I had to earn my way into college. It sucked. But I did get into the school of choice that I wanted to.
Congratulations, because
not everybody does. Actually, I didn't really get into the first choice I really, really wanted to do, but I'm glad I didn't, because it would have changed my career in so many ways, and I probably would have been in broadcasting a lot earlier than I am now, rather than knowing all the computer and cool stuff that I do. So I'm glad I went the path that I did. But while my mom was at school, one of the buildings on campus has a retractable roof, like the whole roof slides back, because it's an old, so where I went to school is a combination of two colleges originally. It was the, God damn it. It was the Carnegie Institute for Technology and the Mellon's College for Girls or Women. And it was one was humanities and one was all masculine stuff, technologies. They combined into one school, which became Carnegie Mellon. And one of the buildings that they had built on the original Mellon campus had a retractable roof. And so when my mom went to school, they retracted the roof and helicoptered in a supercomputer and dropped it. And she had the punch cards, and she remembers dropping them and having to resort them.
Whoa.
And I am so fucking glad I never, ever had to do that. Like, thinking about what they had to do to get the rocket to the moon when they did the Apollo.
Fascinating.
Oh my gosh, that was done by hand.
That was done by hand
by Black women.
No, not Carnegie Mellon Camp. Just Andrew Carnegie and Andrew Mellon were the two original founders of the school that I went to.
Yeah, Hidden Figures, Chris. That's what I'm referring to.
But just to talk about the tech,
the Hidden Figures, and it was mostly done by women too. Like, that's Black women who had to run across the fucking NASA campus because they wouldn't let them pee into the same bathrooms because apparently people of color pee differently and need to have their own space. Yeah, Carnegie Mellon University, CMU, was the school that I went to.
Insane.
I think I might be lost in the context on the chat at the moment because my brain is a little bit behind today. We've also rambled in so many good ways. Welcome everyone to Chronically Illing Out, where we don't talk about things that are important because we're chronically ill and we love to have fun conversations and not always stay on topic and have tangents.
Never stay on topic.
We sometimes stay on topic.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
When we have a guest, we sometimes stay on topic, but not always. Even then.
Speaking of guests, by the way, it was today that we were supposed to have Dr. I apologize. I am having a hard time. His name is Greeley Miklashek, and he was in the chat a few times. I don't see him today. But I did. He said, "Was it for next week?" But no, I told him it was for this week. But it doesn't matter. You know, we will reschedule.
We'll reschedule.
Yeah, it's never an issue. Do we have someone for next week? Can I tell him right away? Huh?
No, not Doc Eric. Somebody asked if it was Doc Eric in the chat.
Oh, okay. No, actually, it was some. It's a neuropsychiatrist who is retired, and he was in the chat a few times. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? So contacted him and said, "Would you like to come and talk about?" Because I believe he was talking about having CPTSD also, and having studied the impact of stress on the brain. So he was absolutely. It sounded to me like what a fascinating person to have on our podcast, because we all know how much stress affects our brain. So, having somebody who's done his whole career helping out, people on that level, for me, it seemed like absolutely like a good show to put on. So I think I may have seen him on a show here, Jason. Yeah, I don't know if he was like, do you mean live, or do you mean like, I haven't seen him live, but he accepted. So,
and we'll work on getting him in and see if we can reschedule. I don't think we have anyone scheduled next week, but I also haven't looked ahead yet. I barely figured out what I have going on for this week. I think it's going to be a busy week.
And Nick is doing a lot of support too, like a lot of tech support. I mean, he's got his own shows, but he's also doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And remember, Nick, we have the time for karaoke this Thursday.
Yes, I will. That will get on the calendar. I just need to add the show instance for it, for the schedule.
But I had asked Nick, please help me with the tech, at least to get me going at first, because I'm expecting a few people, and it's a 2-hour special because, yes, lots of people have started really taking a liking to karaoke here on Substack, as elsewhere in real life, right? So it's going to be this Thursday from 8 Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern. Nick, it's okay. I don't expect you to hang around until the end, but
I'll
if you
get
could
you
help me
set up
get
so that we
started.
can get you started and off as you go, because I'll be around. I'll still be awake. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you.
But yes, look for that on the coming out on the schedule for this week. There's so much stuff going on. I have an interview this afternoon with candidate. Let me pull up their name so that I don't screw it up. Salam Bhatti for Virginia CD5 today at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if anyone wants to catch that, if there's anyone in the audience that might have any questions too, especially with the Virginia map rulings, like he's probably going to be a good candidate to ask about things like that and how it may impact his candidacy and his run and what he's planning to do to ensure that the people of Virginia, their voice is heard and their voices are heard appropriately and constitutionally.
Especially with what happened, right? I mean,
yeah, all in like framing of what happened and how he can help prevent that as a member of Congress and push back against. And again, thanks Ashley for that compliment around Eric, who's running for Oklahoma CD2, I think it was. Hold on, let me go back. I want to make sure I get Eric's right, because Eric and I had a really good conversation last week. And
the person from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, the gentleman from Oklahoma. And he was
very interesting. Some parts of it, yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
And everyone.
Oklahoma CD2 for Eric Turwey. He touches, his district touches my district in Arkansas, and I have family that's in his district, and I think it's awesome that that there is a candidate who's running and who's trying to like cross the traditional aisles and actually use the right and talk about language and terms and the way he's discussing things with people. And I think he'd be a great candidate. They have terrible representation, and they need someone new. They need people who are new and who will actually represent them. And he's willing to represent the people of the Cherokee Nation and give them and talk and actually work to uphold our treaties with them and give them the voice that they are legally due within the United States and the representation that they're legally due because of treaty law. I think it's fantastic. And I think more people should be talking about treaty law and the use of our own treaty law to actually enforce shit and make sure we're doing shit right in this country. Because we can do it. We can just enforce the laws we have on the books, and a whole bunch of good things might actually happen.
But I think that it's great what you're doing, Nick, because you're actually amplifying those voices, and they are being shut up, like in, on the public places by all the shit that's happening, with, for example, like the courts meddling in with what happened in Virginia. So I mean, it is. I think
it's
we just
lot.
Let's not stop, guys. I mean, I know a lot of people in the chats are in the States, so we got a few Canadians, but we're emotionally supporting you to get rid of this fascist regime, because it really is. I mean, it's insane. It's unacceptable, and don't stop. Just don't let them. I'm just.
Also,
I mean, you guys are why I sit here too, because I think, America has so much to offer, and now it's just going down. Yeah, it's rolling down the hill, but hopefully, we can sort of help you guys somehow, I know that our prime minister says like it's over, don't don't get your hopes up, but I think he's got to use that language to sort of like tell people like, don't, especially about the tariff situation. And I think on that level is more talking about economics, but, in terms of emotionally supporting our neighbors, I think that's important, I mean.
Yeah.
Yep. So
it's super helpful for me that you and all the emotional support Canadians are here. So also, Nick talked to my friend Mary noon last Friday, and she helps train candidates on how to actually win. So it's great to have candidates, but if they don't know how to run a campaign, it's not wasted, but we need more people teaching people how to run the campaign.
Yeah. And I want to, that was a great conversation. I got to mention a few names with her too on folks that I've talked to. And I'm really hopeful we can continue building these relationships because there's so much we can do. Like there's still so much time and there's so much we have to do. So we have to use all of that time. It's not like we have a respite.
No.
And part of that is if you have a chronic illness is make sure that you actually take the breaks you fucking need. Don't overdo it. If you're tired, if you're overworked, go take a break for a little bit, come back. Others are here. Others will fill the spot while you're out. We have folks like, if I can't do interviews, Walter is doing interviews almost nonstop. Go watch Walter's interviews. Yeah, go watch Walter's interviews. He's so amazing. Go talk to others. And yes, Ashley, he is for the work that I'm doing. I'm being contracted for that. And so I'm really excited to be able to do that type of work and be able to use the tools that I have developed for myself to help others too. And I plan on using those tools to give more support for others. And we're working on adding booking functionality. Well, we've added booking functionality in, but we're working on like really building booking functionality so that we can have guests book interview slots. And we just approve them or deny them. And yeah, Courtney, I know.
Courtney wrote.
Yes, Courtney, I understand. I'm being a hypocrite at the moment. Is stop overworking myself and being tired. Yes, I understand. I know. I'm getting there. You should see the amount of work that I have going on behind the scenes on my computer right now. Like Courtney and I work together a lot on our tooling, and she's incredible. So Courtney, you're freaking amazing. Thank you. No, I'm not burning out. I'm just sick right now, and I can work through a small cold. There's worse things going on than a small cold and a little bit of congestion. So I'll be a little hypocritical right now. No, I'm resting. I understand. Yes, calling me out, friends. I get it.
This is what this community is about.
It's
is like,
but
we're also do what I say, but not what I do. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah. And then I'm like I really stepped back from a lot of the stuff on Substack. And I feel, because you all know that like everything is going on in my life, and I feel so guilty that I'm like not like really in it the way I want to be. So it's like, we
have to have a whole episode about guilt. I don't know what you guys think in the chat.
Yeah.
Because I am trying to unlearn feeling guilt all the time. And I don't know if it's a chronically illing out thing. Well, I don't want to, it's not fun to think about it, but I think we should have just a get out of the guilt episode.
I think that's actually amazing.
Yeah, we'll do that. Get out the guilt would be a good title for next week. How's everyone feel about that? Get out the guilt.
Yeah.
Because you know what the cool thing is with all these amazing tools that we have been working on is I am just going to update the title for next week while we're right here on this show, because I can do that now and it's going to schedule it out for us and I don't have to worry about it. And it does make life so much easier. And there are really cool things happening behind the scenes. And yes, I know I look kind of burnt out and tired, but I'm not. I promise I'm okay.
Speaking of getting out the guilt, when I drove up to Maine, we put on the first Indigo Girls album, Get Out the Map. And and Tracy Chapman, and oh my God, are they still so relevant? It's unreal. Those are 30 years old, more than 30 years old, and it's still like immediately relevant today, which is very sad.
Okay, friends, we have hit time. We have hit our hour, but we're not going to skip our meditation of the day, which is last week's meditation. I'm going to redo last week's. Beth is out. It was also Mother's Day weekend. Not going to ask Beth to do anything on Mother's Day weekend. That's some bullshit. She's a mom, and she needs her break too, because we all deserve breaks. Yes, we all deserve breaks, including myself. I will make sure I take breaks. Don't worry, y'all. That's why I've been going light on some stuff, and I've been moving around shows in other areas to make sure that I do take some breaks. But let's take our final break before we end our day with our quick QR codes is the meditation from last week, which is reset, refresh. And I think that kind of fits in perfectly with the need for our theme for next week's episode of Get Out the Guilt. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you on the flip side.
Welcome to our Reset, Refresh meditation. Join me by taking a deep breath in through your nose and slowly exhale out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in and slowly exhale out. One more deep breath in and slowly exhale out. There is something magical about the early morning sun casting a gentle glow as it rises, its rays allowing a drop of dew to seemingly dance on the end of a blade of grass. Imagine you are sitting quietly in the early morning sun, breathing in the beautiful beginning of a new day. As the sun slowly blankets the garden around you, take this moment to reset and refresh. Stop and enjoy all the sights and sounds in this peaceful garden oasis. There is no rush, no hurry. You are invited to sit by the water and reflect on the stillness. Let all of your worries go and embrace the beauty of the landscape around you. Without fear or hesitation, let go of what does not serve you today, releasing it in the soft glow of the sun. Perhaps you sit down by the water's edge and find peace in its quiet rhythm. You notice the trees and thick foliage are mirrored in the water's reflection, as though they are painted on smooth glass. Perhaps you put your feet in the warm sand, grounding yourself in the moment. You are at peace in this tranquil setting. Sit with that feeling of calm for a few moments, just breathing and being. Soften your neck and shoulders as you sit in serenity. Stress has no place here. Take this moment to reset and refresh. Take one more deep cleansing breath in and slowly exhale out. Carry this feeling of calm with you throughout your day and week.
All right, and we come back in with a thank you, Beth, who is in the chat with us right now on Substack. Thank you for your beautiful meditation again, as always. You're amazing. Let me put up, I know you're not with us at the moment, but please go subscribe to Beth. She's amazing at the Possibilitarian's Light. She still owes me a new picture, but that's okay. It's okay. But thank you, Beth. We love you and hope you get better. Hope you feel better soon so that you can join us again next week. And please, everyone, become subscribers with Beth. She's amazing and awesome, and we love her. Steph, how about you, my friend?
So I have a podcast called Freedom Over Fascism, where I do fireside chats with people who can help us understand where we are, why we are, what our history is, and the context of our moment. There's a lot of episodes that are evergreen that you can listen to right now on my Substack, freedomoverfascism.us, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. And I'm working on figuring out when I am going to start my next season. So please join me, and thank you for being there. Subscribe if you can, free, paid, whatever works for you. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, I said thanks. I said thanks, Steph, while I was muted. Soso, how about you, my friend?
Well, hi, I'm Soso. The reason my Substack is called Soso World, it's because it's really the place where I share the life that I love to love right now. What do I mean is because I've changed things since I am chronically ill, but I'm also taking time to enjoy photography, singing, sharing pictures, and I can't focus right now, but yes, just go check it out. And I love engaging with you guys. I mean, I can't just believe there are 200 people here in the chat. It's insane. I mean, this is what gets me going, to have some, I will admit I am a sucker for positive feedback because that's how I grew up. So there you go. You can become a free subscriber. I take all subscription, and I appreciate all of it. And Julie, who's in the chat, haven't forgotten you. I'm trying to get your song, but because I do karaoke for friends who are paid subscribers. So I haven't forgotten you, Julie. It's been insane with all the birthdays. So thank you, everyone. And you, Nick.
I'm getting there. Thanks, Soso. And by the
Your
way,
turn.
come join me here at Sick of This Shit Publications, where we are sick of this shit and we're doing something about it instead. And yes, the singing will be on Thursday, the 14th, at time for karaoke special event for Soso's birthday. Will be on the 14th at 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, here on Sick of the Shit Publications. And
I've already lots of people who said they're gonna come sing. So
awesome! I'm so excited. And give me the list of who I need to add on for guests, and I'll make sure we've got everybody on that for you. And you'll be
I'm gonna be DMing everyone to this. Like, I'm gonna try to do it not at the last minute. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. And so thank you everyone for being here. I appreciate all of you. Please join me here at Sick of This Shit Publications, free or paid subscriptions. We have different discount codes. We have a 50 and 60% off forever discount code that's always linked in our show notes. So please, if you can't afford the full price, come at half price. Come at a little bit more than that forever. I don't care. Any little bit helps. Every little bit matters. And I love and appreciate all of you for being here with us, for chronically illing out with us, for enjoying our ramblings and our musings throughout the morning. And yes, I will take care of myself today. And that being said, I will not be canceling Palin Talk today on Banner and Backbone, because I'm not going to cancel on Shane. We canceled last week. And I want to make sure we talk this week. So everyone, go have a great day, though. We're done being sick of this shit here. So we're doing this shit. Appreciate you all. And we'll talk again next week. Thanks, y'all.